Hi everybody, if you're just joining me for the first time, my name is Shemaine, and today I'm going to tell you about 6 myths, say that fast, 6 myths associated with toxic mold. Thanks so much for joining me, everybody. If you don't know anything about me, I have been a healthy lifestyle expert for a long time, been teaching group fitness classes since 1980. Then I got sick and almost died from toxic mold exposure. So I know way too much about this. Never wanted to be known as the mold lady, but I'm here to share all of the information that I know with you so that it can prevent you from going through the horrible devastation that my family and I went through. We lost our home that was once featured on MTV Cribs, and worse than that, we all got very sick. So the 6 myths that are associated with toxic mold exposure. Number 1, it's all about geography. It doesn't matter if you live in Alaska or Florida or anywhere else. If you have a porous substance, lack of ventilation, and water infiltration, you have mold. So a lot of people will say, well, where was your house that was contaminated with mold? It doesn't matter. It happened to be in Michigan, but it doesn't matter because we're talking about the inside. In a porous substance, sheetrock or drywall, wherever you are geographically, that's what they call it. That's what happened. It was literally raining between the walls. We never saw anything. The flashing wasn't installed properly. So there's a lot of problems. I won't get into the specifics, but if you had a porous substance like sheetrock or drywall, depending on geographically where you are located, in that sense geography does matter, but if you have water infiltration and a lack of ventilation, you got mold. Number 2, use bleach. It'll cure everything. Not true. Bleach can actually exacerbate the problem. 1 mold spore is 1/100th the size of human hair, and its natural defense mechanism is to propagate 1,000,000 times, like a dead dandelion. What happens when you shake the dandelion? Did they ever do that when you were a kid? That's what can happen if you try to wipe a moldy surface with bleach. You actually need to get a qualified mold remediator. You have to block off the area so that you don't contaminate other parts of your home and leave it to a professional. The number 1 most important thing, though, is that you get your house tested so you know what you're dealing with. Number 3 is about cleaning your ductwork. Let's say you had a mold problem, you had a water leak, it went up 6 inches, you decided to cut out 3 feet around your house. That's what I did one time when our hot water heater burst. You could miss a spot. So make sure that you check and recheck and check and recheck, and don't feel bad about asking questions. Don't feel bad about getting on the mold remediator and the contractor that you're working with. This is your life. This is a life and death situation, I know. So make sure that once you remediate an area, clean the ductwork as well. That's really important because you don't want to recontaminate the whole house by getting mold spores in through the ductwork and spread around your whole house. We actually ended up having to walk away from our home that was once on MTV Cribs, but we lost everything because mold got into the ductwork, and back then, around the year 2002, nobody really knew what they were doing. Mold wasn't a common topic. It's not so much now, but it's more acceptable, and people understand that it is a real big problem. So, number 3, clean your ductwork. Number 4, all mold is created equal. Not true. There are a few types of deadly killer mold. That number 1, if you have this type of mold, if you do a mold report and you have Stachybotrys mold, this is serious. It has been known to cause serious damage and injury to the human body, but also to our pets. So if you love your fur babies like I do, make sure that you heed the warning. Not all molds are created equal. The 5th myth: if you remove and remediate, you're good to go, right? Everything's okay. Not true. The problem is, depending on how long your exposure was, You can be sick even months or years after you left. You'll have what's called multiple chemical sensitivity, and this triggers an immune system response that can cause so much havoc in the rest of your body. Number 6, the mold illness symptoms are extensive, guys. It can not only cause headaches, sore throat, flu-like symptoms, upper respiratory symptoms, runny nose, itchy, watery eyes, insomnia. You can also have digestive problems. You can have cognitive brain impairment. You could have short-term memory loss, restless leg, restless body, chronic fatigue. And this is also, mold illness is also being related to ADD, Alzheimer's, and yes, guys, even cancer. Okay, so the symptoms of mold illness can be long-term and devastating. Don't take this lightly. Make sure that if you think you have mold in your house, you probably do. We are our own best investigative sleuths. Get to the bottom of the problem. Nowadays, you can use Google Encyclopedia and find a qualified mold remediator in your area, and check the references. Ask a lot of questions if you're not sure. My documentary on mold illness is coming out sometime in 2020. Until then, check here for more updates and more information, and be sure to leave me a comment and I will answer your questions about mold illness. All right, guys, make sure that you subscribe and like this page so you're the first to know when I have a new video released. And I'd love to hear from you. What types of videos would you like to see more of? Would you like more fitness? Would you like more motivation and mindset, weight loss? Or I can talk all day long about mold. Unfortunately, I guess my new nickname is the Mold Lady. Not something that I thought would happen to me, but if I can help just one person, then all of this is worthwhile. All right, guys, have a great day. Make sure that you check out my podcast, check out social media. All the links are below. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.